wanted to reach out to you in this holiday season because I've really experienced lately that people are struggling with the loss of a loved one during the holidays, and it could be a really challenging time. The death and rebirth process is something that really intrigues me and something that I have come to embrace and have a lot of peace with. Now, I'm actually going to be spending some time today at cliffs where vultures like to hang out, and the vulture is the ultimate master, I believe, of the death and rebirth process, and really alchemizing or making something really beautiful and new life out of something that has died. And it's shown throughout all of nature that, once there is a death of some sort, that there is a rebirth and there is new life that comes after it. And anything that's good and worthy and important and anything that's worth mimicking is something that is mimicked in nature. All the best inventions are imitations of nature. For example, this is a silly example, but when they want to design suction cups, they look to octopus's suctions as a way to invent and give them ideas about how to invent it. There's a boxfish that's really fast that goes through the ocean, and there was a car that was modeled after the boxfish. Termite mines, they give us a good idea of how to build certain construction projects and things. And there is a lot of things in nature that can help us, and everything in nature embraces the complete cycle. And when we really put our defenses up, when we really resist the cycle and resist the good, then it causes a lot of pain. I've had a few deaths in my life, and the last one was the most, I wouldn't say hurtful, but the most impactful, really, to me. Prior to that, I just felt like, when people died, they went up to heaven or hell, and it was a place in the sky or a place below ground, and they just sat up there and they could watch you, and you didn't really get to communicate too much with them until you went and died yourself. And that was my view, and that was very painful. And through the death of my friend James, who was very young, and it happened very suddenly, I did not expect it at all. I really learned through him and after his passing that, and you don't necessarily have to believe this, but this has been my experience over and over, is that the communication doesn't end and their support doesn't end once they've left their physical bodies. I've spent a lot of time talking to him, a lot of time feeling his presence, and asking him questions, asking him for verification, and now I feel like because he's passed, he's not in his physical body, that he's able to help and support me more now, because he's in this place of pure positive energy, and I really love our relationship now more than I ever have when he was on the physical plane, because he was really sad and he was struggling with a lot of things, and I think he wanted to be there for me, and he couldn't always be there for me in the ways that I needed, but it was in his heart to be there for me. He just couldn't when he was here because of what he was struggling with. And I've also come to learn a lot about energy and the fact that energy doesn't die, and we're energy. It's neither created nor destroyed, it just changes. And I've also learned that, what I believe to be true is true. Like, if I really believe that there's like a power in your beliefs, and if you believe it, then it becomes true to you, whether it's really real or not. If it's real in your mind, then, and it helps you, and it's healthy for you, then go for it. So, you know, and I've felt crazy sometimes when I've talked to my friend that's passed, and I'll ask him for confirmation, or I'll feel like I'm having an experience with him, or sharing an experience with him now, and then I just get, when I say confirmations, I mean things that only James would know, like, and you know, there's certain like songs you shared with a loved one, or movies that you shared with a loved one, or, you know, certain colors or symbols that you know is them coming through. For example, my grandfather, he lived in New Mexico, so cactuses are very symbolic to my mom of him. And for me, the sun is very symbolic to my relationship with James. Also the Lion King, also the Grand Canyon, because we wound up having a really long conversation when I was at the Grand Canyon, and we wound up making up and you know, speaking for like 3 hours and clearing up all the things that we had wanted to clear up, and really made our relationship great after that. And you know, so he does send me signs, and I think that's sometimes what we miss, is the fact that we can't talk to them or have those experiences with them. And once I embrace that I still can have that experience with him, that if I want to go and play in the stream like I used to with James, then in my mind, if I go there and say I'm playing in the stream with James, then I am. And I feel his presence with me and his energy with me, and it feels good. It feels good to believe that, therefore I do. And sometimes, so nicely, like I said, he'll send me a confirmation of something that, and that's just kind of how the mind works. When you believe something, then the universe sends you more things to prove yourself true, whether it's, you know, right thinking thought, or a negative thought, or a positive thought. That's what happens with thoughts, is your brain is going to send you more things to prove yourself true. So just know that just because they're not in their physical body, that they're still with you. You can still have conversations. You can ask them for guidance. You can ask them for support, and they're going to be able to help you now more than ever, because they're coming from a place of pure positive energy. I've seen him do so many things, like for people that he loves, like giving them promotions. To me, I feel like he had some help in that, and it's just been really cool to see what he's been able to do, because he's not been in his body. Like I said, like giving people promotions, or just other blessings that I've seen upon people that he really loved and wanted to help and support. Even right now, I'm driving and I just passed his son. So I did want to share that with you, because prior to this experience, I didn't have any communication or understand or have any healthy relationship with death. I was very afraid of it. I grew up very Catholic, so that was one thing that really helped me with death. And also just embracing it, because there's so much positivity that comes from it. Is it really, you know, his death really inspired me to do a lot of amazing things. And just like in nature, when a tree falls down and it becomes compost, and it enriches the soil and it becomes a home for, you know, woodland creatures, there's a purpose to it. And it's still a benefit to society for having been. And we can use that just like anything else to inspire us, or we have the choice to take that and really destroy us and prevent us from having, you know, a good experience now. And, you know, the choice ultimately is up to us, is how we want to view the situation. You know, as I was blessed that I had that person in my life, and be thankful for that time, or you can resist the moment and it's going to really hurt. So we have to find a way to make it positive and to take the resistance away from, like, the cringing away from the person physically not being here. Whether you believe that they're here with you or not, you can still be thankful. And I think if you really reach out to them, you'll realize that they're not far away at all. And they're always with you. They, sometimes there's that corny saying, or kind of corny saying that, oh, the person's with you in your heart. There's a lot of truth to that. But anyways, but we can also, make it a positive by, thinking thankfully and being thankful for the experience that we had with that person, the lessons that we had with that person, even if it wasn't a positive person to be around all the times, because James certainly was not when he was alive, and we had a lot of ups and downs in our relationship. And then another thing that can really help us through the holidays is, other than, knowing that you're not alone and that the person is there, and just knowing that they can help you so much now. Like, sorry, I'm kind of going backwards, but like, there are things that me and James wanted to do and work on together, and those projects, I feel like he's still helping with me. He's still helping me now to accomplish those things, and I feel like he can help now better in the state that he is, in a state of spirit and love. And so talk to your family member, talk to the person that passed about what you want to work on and what's important to you, and feel their support and their love, if nothing else, because they really still can support you, and from where they are. So I hope you really take the time to try and communicate with your loved one. Another thing that can really help during the holidays is just embracing and being thankful for who you do have and what you do have right now, because it's like a glass half empty, glass half full thing. And if we focus on the things that we don't have, then it's just going to keep growing, and our misery is going to keep growing. So it's really important to, focus on, if we have children at home, focus on the blessing of having them with us, and that we have a home right now, or that we have food, or that we have family that's around us that loves us, or whatever blessings we have right now is really important to focus on, because when we're thankful, it really opens up more blessings to us. You focus on being thankful, then there's going to be more things that come to you that you're thankful about. So that's a tip just for any time, and I know it's kind of a general tip, but it's just really crucial and really important. And my final thing, and something I didn't actually think of myself, but my friend did, is that really sometimes you can't handle things yourself. Sometimes you really need to reach out to someone, when a person passes away, because those are really hard things to deal with at times. And something can trigger you, like you see a movie, or you see the car that they used to drive, and you can kind of go back into that sadness, that depression. The holidays brings up a lot of things. It triggers a lot of memories and feelings and sadness that the person is not physically there anymore. So right now can be a triggering time, so it's really important to talk to somebody about it. Sometimes I think that, me especially, that I can deal with everything by myself and I don't need anybody. But, in some cases that leads people down really destructive paths to holding in your feelings, which eventually can lead to self-harm and suicidal thoughts, or worse. And then sometimes it can lead to substance abuse and, drug and alcohol addictions, because people try and deal with it themselves, whereas if they reached out to someone and really shared their feelings about it, it might help. So if you do have somebody around you that can help you to work through those feelings, and at least just listen. They don't have to fix anything, but just being able to get it out, and maybe, you know, just talk to that person and or remember some good times, and they can help you to remind you of all the good things that you do have as well. Whatever your needs are, don't be afraid to speak to somebody, to talk to somebody, to reach out to somebody. It doesn't make you weak at all, and it's really important. And the people that love you wouldn't want you suffering and wouldn't want you sad. So if you have that available to you, I really suggest that while it's important to work through things by yourself at times, it's also really important to involve other people, and it really makes them feel good actually to be able to support you and be there for you. So, and the next time you can be there for them. So don't forget to reach out as well to people. And I wish you a lot of happiness and a lot of peace during this holiday season. I know things look differently, and you know, life is always evolving and always changing. Nothing is ever the same. You know, it's the way with life and the way with nature. And I hope that, you know, through nature and seeing the way that it really uses death in a positive way and it doesn't resist death, that you can use that as an inspiration for you to really turn death into something that's positive and uplifting and really inspiring for other people. I hope you reach out to your loved ones that have passed, and I hope you reach out to the people that are here with you now, and know that you're not alone. You know, spiritually and, you know, and physically as well, and people around you that care. And sometimes it's hard to see it, but you're not alone. Alright guys, have a beautiful holiday. I wish you much things to be thankful for, and much peace and love. Bye bye.